I will now call the meeting to order. I'll have the city town clerk take the roll.
Davis,
Here.
Douglas,
Here.
Hurt,
Present.
Rodriguez,
Present.
Singh, Rodriguez,
Here.
Roth,
Here.
Kupo,
Here.
Decker,
Here.
Testa,
Here.
Wood, Antunes,
Here.
Santana,
Here.
Akota, Santiago,
Here.
Crespo,
Presente.
Ortiz,
Present.
Cola,
Here.
Edwards,
Here.
Clyburn,
Here.
Winter,
Here.
Morrison,
Here.
Walker Myers,
Here.
Hamilton,
Present.
Marchand,
Here.
Rakeem, Burlow,
Here.
Marks,
Present.
Wingate,
Presente.
Smith.
A quorum has been established. We'll now have divine guidance from order from Ward 16.
Thank you, Madam President. Today, I would like to share a word to try to stimulate your mind in a positive way. Oftentimes, there are many individuals, they express the words of the psalmist that was stated in the 118th chapter, verse 24, which is very common and very well known, and that is, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." But oftentimes, when you say that, do you know what you're saying? Do you realize what you're expressing? This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. The first part, which is, this is the day that the Lord has made, is outside of your control. Let us rejoice and be glad in it is within your control. So what does that mean? That within today's life, with the pandemic, with having to deal with whether I take the vaccine or not, having to deal with anxieties of social distancing, wearing masks, the inability to contact, in person, your family members or friends, not having the ability to interact with them like you used to, the inability to travel as often as you wanted, and being inside of a home, your anxiety levels go up, your stress levels go up, your high blood pressures may go up, you may have tachycardia, but that is something that you can control through your mind. See, the Lord is telling you that this is the day that the Lord has made, which means the Lord has given you another opportunity, another day of life. Let us rejoice means let's show great joy. Let us be glad in it means let us be happy. Let us be able to delight in it. And by being able to transform the way you think, you'll be able to enjoy every day that the Lord has made for you. Another day to be able to show forgiveness. Another day to ask for forgiveness. A day to uplift someone. Another day to be able to help someone else. And you may ask, but how do I transform my mind? Well, let us consider the letter that was written by the Apostle Paul, 12th chapter, verse 2. And he states, "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into the person by changing the way you think." By being able to change the way you can think positively. You can be more enthused. You can have more motivation of life and may continue to press on and realize anything that I did not accomplish today, tomorrow is another day. And because the Lord grants me that other day, another day of mercy and forgiveness, let me rejoice in each and every day. And if you look at the end of what the Apostle Paul stated in that letter to the Romans, he says, "Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good, pleasing, and perfect." So the next time you say, This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Remember that the day that the Lord has made for you is one that is pleasing, that is perfect, and that is good. Thank you.
Amen.
Glory to God.
Glory,
Thank
hallelujah.
you. Hold up.
Amen.
We're in a meeting still, right? Thank you, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President, and good evening. I move approval of the Journal of the March 1st, 2021 Board of Alders meeting.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion, are there any corrections to the journal? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed, Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under unanimous consent, I ask UCN item number 1 from Tax Collector, Order of Tax Refunds, March 15, 2021.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent? Seeing none, Ms. Majority Leader.
I move the item.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed, Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask UCN items 2 through 12. 2, order concerning real property taxes of Tara Bland on motor vehicle tax account numbers 873353 and 889648. 3, order concerning real property taxes of Tracy R. Cox on motor vehicle tax account numbers 615470, 640686, and 657120. 4, order concerning real property taxes of Wesley Eder on motor vehicle tax account number 858712. 5, order concerning real property taxes of Brandon Hill on motor vehicle tax account number 73422, 736278, and 955757. 6, order concerning real property taxes of Loshonda Lockhart on motor vehicle tax account numbers 83021 and 88801. 7, order concerning real property taxes of William Moore on motor vehicle tax accounts 959078 and 90229. 8, order concerning real property taxes of Jose Muniz on motor vehicle tax account numbers 683232, 683233, 683324, 683235, 700780, 700781, 700782, and 717628. 9, order concerning real property taxes of Luis Rivera on motor vehicle tax account numbers 588022, 626216, 626217, 649462, 649463, and 667455. 10, order concerning real property taxes of Kenneth Smith on motor vehicle tax account numbers 704873 and 817929. 11, order concerning real property taxes of Ricardo Turner Jr. on motor vehicle tax account numbers 873353 and 889648. And 12, order concerning real property taxes of Nathaniel Worthy on motor vehicle tax account numbers 772073, 772074, 92657, 96908, and 108343.
Is there anyone going to deny unanimous consent on these items? Seeing none, Ms. Majority Leader.
I move these items.
Second.
The items have been moved in second. Discussion, I call on order from Ward 16.
Thank you, Madam President. These 11 items are individuals that are willing to pay their taxes in full. However, they would need assistance with having their interest waived. And I would urge this body to go ahead and waive the interest at this time in order to receive the amount of $6,900 in taxes that is owed to the city. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passed. Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under communications, I note items 13 through 21. Under first readings, I note item 22. Bringing us to second readings. Under second readings, I move item number 12, A through F. Aldermanic Affairs, favorable. A, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the reappointment of Evelise Ribeiro to the Board of Police Commissioners. B, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of David Ferretti to the Financial Review and Audit Commission. C, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Thomas Costa to the Cable TV Advisory Council. D, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Joseph Rathwall to the Port Authority Board of Commissioners. E, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Joanny Rodriguez to the Peace Commission. And F, order of the New Haven Board of Alders approving the appointment of Sebastian Ward to the Commission on Youth.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion. I call on order for Ward 13.
Thank you, Madam President. On February 22nd, 2021, the Aldermanic Affairs Committee met, and we would like to favorably recommend these appointees. All these appointees attended the meeting and spoke with the committee enthusiastically about their willingness to serve the city. The committee favorably recommends these appointees, and I urge my colleagues to vote favorably. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under Aldermanic Affairs, item 13, Aldermanic Affairs, rather leave to withdraw. 13, I move items 13A and B. A, order granting leave to withdraw to the communication to approve the reappointment of Angelina Wilson to the Commission on Youth. And B, order granting leave to withdraw to the communication to approve the reappointment of Robin Wilson to the Commission on Youth.
Second.
The items have been moved in second. Discussion for the leave to withdraw. I call on order from Ward 13.
Thank you, Madam President. On February 22nd, 2021, the Aldermanic Affairs Committee met, and we would like to leave to withdraw these items. Unfortunately, Ms. Angelina Wilson did not attend the meeting as required. If she is still interested in serving, we hope that she can submit for reappointment. Ms. Robin Wilson has already served 9 consecutive years and, as required by charter, needs to step off for a year. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion on the leave to withdraw only? Seeing none, all in favor of giving these items leave to withdraw, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item Ms. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 14, A. Health and Human Services, favorable. From Alder Sabin and others, submitting a resolution endorsing and supporting the federally proposed Equality Act, HR 5119, Congress.
Second.
The items have been moved in second. Discussion, I call on order from Ward 3.
Thank you, Madam President. I yield to order from Ward 1, Alder Sabin.
I will now
Thank you.
call on order from Ward 1.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to my colleague from Ward 3. For generations, LGBT people in New Haven, in Connecticut, and across the country have suffered from discrimination in our society, preventing them from getting jobs, finding places to live, and experiencing the peace of mind that we all deserve. I'm proud to be supporting the Equality Act resolution, which will make sure everyone in our community understands that they are equally valuable and entitled to respect, dignity, and opportunity in their lives. This resolution before us endorses the Federal Equality Act, which would amend the 1964 Civil Rights Act to protect people from being discriminated against based on sexual orientation and gender identity in employment, housing, and other services, as well as access to public accommodations such as restaurants. Many states continue to deny these basic protections, and we need change. The Equality Act passed out of the U.S. House of Representatives on a bipartisan vote on February 25th, which makes it even more important that we add momentum to the movement for LGBT rights by passing this resolution and advocating for the U.S. Senate to take up the act in the future. If we do, we will be the 14th municipality in Connecticut to pass this resolution, joining Hartford, New Britain, Middletown, and 11 other towns. I urge my colleagues to vote favorably on this important resolution. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. Let me just make sure. Okay, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Continuing under item 14, Health and Human Services favorable, I move item B. From the Health Director, a resolution authorizing the city to apply for and accept a subcontract grant award from Family Centered Services in Connecticut from July 1, 2021 to June 30, 2024 for $355,016 annually to provide parents as teachers' home visitation services.
Second.
The item has moved in second. Discussion. I call order from Ward 3.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a new grant to help our parents educate their kids. Thank you, Madam President.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. I move item 15, A and B, tax abatement favorable. A, order of the Board of Alders of the City of New Haven approving the execution of a tax abatement agreement between the City of New Haven and Antillian Estates LLC for a property located at 206 Day Street to be used as affordable housing. B, order the New Haven Board of Alders approving the request for assistance from Mr. David and Ms. Sherry Bailey on tax account number 0017545.
Second. You're muted, Madam President.
I got it. Thank you very much. The item has been moved in second. Before we go to discussion, I will now turn the meeting over to President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam President. Is there any discussion? I go to Alder from Ward 16.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. Item 12A, this is Antillian Estates LLC has requested a tax abatement agreement for the property located at 206 Day Street. This building is old and too costly to try to renovate, so they are planning to take that building down and they want to build a new structure. The new building will also have 31 low-income units, and the tenants who live there will be able to move into the new apartments. The tax abatement agreement is for 17 years, and their taxes will be increased at the same percentage that they increase the rents. The tax abatement committee heard their request at the February 23rd meeting and voted for approval, and I ask your support as well and approval for this particular item. This is something that's going to benefit the community. It's going to benefit those who live in that particular ward and the city as a whole. And it's something that, as the Board of Alders, this is what we promote, and the ability to have affordable housing for those that are in need, especially during this year where the pandemic has struck many families. Now, item B, this is an item that the committee recommended that the taxes be adjusted to reflect, I'm sorry, are we looking at item 1, item B, item A only, Madam President Pro Tem? Or both?
Yes, well, before you go on to the second one, I do see, okay, go ahead to both, to the
Okay.
second one, Alder. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for that point of clarity. For item B, this item, the committee recommended that we have the taxes adjusted to reflect the corrected assessed value of the property, and we also recommend that we forgive all the interest. Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem.
Thank you. Alder. Any further discussion? I see Madam President, Ward 23, your hand is up. You can go.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. I stand in support of item number A, Antillian Manor. It's in my ward, and this tax abatement is really going to help stabilize the lives of the residents that live there and their families. The best part of this whole process is that we did it as a community along with legal aid to make sure we were covered legally, all of our bases. We included the residents, and they actually had a stake in what their future looked like. And this is just part of a bigger plan for the Dwight West River neighborhood around affordable housing and affordable home ownership. And I really urge everybody to support, because I think the way we went about this whole development, calling partners from everywhere, not just the city, actually invest in a neighborhood, I think is really important. And I think it could be a model for what we do here in the city. And I know sometime when we get these tax abatements, it's really hard because somebody have to subsidize it. But what I would say is this is really affordable housing. They're going by 50% of the AMI, and this is really going to change these family lives. I've said in every meeting with the community, and they really have a voice. And that is the best part of this process, that I was able to watch people who were hopeless transform into people that was advocating for the needs and actually feeling like they were at the table. So I urge all my colleagues to support. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. If you guys can use your hand raise, we do have a couple of people on the queue. I see you, Alder Abby Roth from Ward 7.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. I'd like to speak to item 15A. While I very much support ensuring that the 31 residents and families from Antillian Manor have quality affordable housing, I can't support the proposed tax abatement. Carabetta can and should pay more in taxes. I continue to have serious concerns about the lack of a standard or framework for LISHTA to review the increasing number of tax abatement requests that come before it. In December, my colleague from Ward 10 and I requested an Alder workshop on the issue so that the standard could be developed. At the tax abatement hearing on this item,
Point of order, President Pro Tem.
Yes.
This is outside the
We
point.
just want to speak to whether or not, Alder Roth, if you are in support of the item or not. We don't want to bring back old stuff that we did. If you can just stick to the item, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. I'm sorry, I wasn't clear. If I wasn't clear, I do not support the tax abatement. Given the city's significant economic challenges and only 40% of our property being taxable, it's fiscally irresponsible to not have a framework for evaluating these proposals. It makes it easy for developers like Carabetta to take advantage of the tax abatement process at the expense of other taxpayers. This tax abatement would freeze Carabetta's current taxes at $42,554 for 17 years, unless the rents increase, in which case taxes would increase. But unlike most other tax abatements that have come before us, there's not an automatic tax increase annually or every several years. Moreover, the tax rate is based on the assessment of the current building, which unfortunately is deplorable and needs to be turned down, not on the future building, which has a $10.4 million in hard construction costs. As part of this project, Carabetta, a big company with 20,000 projects across 3 states and several corporate affiliates, including the construction company for this project, is receiving $1.5 million in a development fee, $400,000 in community development block grant funding, construction fees through its affiliates, plus an annual profit. The current proposal should be restructured so that Carabetta's taxes are tied to the value of the rebuilt property and increase automatically over time. Just 3 years ago with the Clock Factory development, this Board of Alders pushed back on a request for a 17-year flat tax abatement to 7 years, putting less of a burden on other city taxpayers while still providing very needed affordable housing. We should do something like that tonight. Other city taxpayers should not have to subsidize a large developer's profit. Finally, I want to highlight that the construction costs for this project are almost $500,000 per unit. I'm eager to see the proposals of the Alder Working Group focused on zoning reform to promote affordable housing, because spending $500,000 per unit is not a sensible or sustainable approach to addressing our very real affordable housing needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder Rolfe. I will call on the Alder from Ward 20, Alder Clyburn.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I stand to support this tax abatement for this project. Being Alder for a couple of years, under all circumstances of that our city has been in, I don't see any difference than all the information that my colleague just spoke about. That's different. It's just the time zone that's different, but everything else with other developers, they have gotten tax abatements longer than 17 years. So, and you know, this is an area that needs to be brought up and supported, because they have to live like any other area. So, you know, when you're helping people who are the least one, sometimes it's a little more, and we should, as a people, be willing to support the least ones. So I stand in support of this item. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder. Madam President, since you did go before, I see your hand is up. Alder Honda Smith would like to go. So Alder Smith of Ward 30. Oh, and you know what? I'm sorry, Alder Smith, Alder Jose, you did put your hand up. Maybe you can't use your hand raised, so that was a while ago. So Alder Smith, I'm gonna have Alder Crespo of Ward 16 go, and then I'll have you go, and then Madam President, you can go. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to stand in support for this item, and I just wanted to point out for the record that many individuals played a significant role, not just the constituents, the Madam President, but as well as Clay Williams, Arlevia, myself, Alder Sal DeCola, Alder Ernie Santiago, and many other players to ensure that the numbers made sense. We're not just grabbing in the air and just making it work. It actually does make sense. This is something that the community wants, the community needs, and it's something that we can do. We have certainly addressed many different points. This particular item came before LISHTA multiple times. We had significant meetings, we had significant conversations. Sometimes it was heated conversations because we wanted to ensure that the constituents were being considered, but that the numbers made sense. We sat multiple times with the key players that are wanting to ensure that this happens, as well as those who would benefit from it. And at this time, I have to say that despite even the circumstances that we're facing, we certainly can afford it at this time, and it is going to be to the benefit of our community and our constituents. And I would urge the support of the board. Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Alder. I will call on Alder Honda Smith, Ward 30.
I stand in support of this item for the simple reason is that people should not have to live beneath their privilege. And to my understanding, these people have been living beneath their privilege for such a long time. And it's time for affordable houses so in which that they can afford to live somewhere that is comfortable, somewhere that is nice, somewhere where their children are not being sick or them getting sick, somewhere where they can call home. I must say I was a victim of one point of being young, have to worry about if the rain was going to fall on my head with a plastic bag over my head because of there was a hole in the roof of the ceiling where the water came in. So I understand it's time for us to stop looking at the what ifs and look at what's actually happening. These people deserve to live better than what they're living. They deserve to come up in life like others have came up in life. I do stand in support of this, and I hope my colleagues do stand for the people that are in need with this project that's going on. Thank you, Madam Pro Tem.
Thank you, Alder. I will call on Alder Steve Winter, Ward 21.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. This rehabilitation is clearly badly needed. Legal aid would not be involved otherwise. And I can understand the desire for increasing transparency and uniformity in the tax abatement process as much as possible. I share that desire. But in this case, per unit, the development will bring in over $1,300, which is more than double the $400 to $600 that this board has approved in the past. I'd like to emphasize that the applicant has submitted all the required financial documentation and that the project uses city allotted federal grant dollars to leverage millions of private and state funding to provide deeply affordable housing. This type of investment in affordable housing, this is the type of investment in affordable housing that we should be seeking. That which utilizes city support as a lever to bring in more than 14 times as much funding from other sources. Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Alder. So, Madam President, I'm seeing people's hands pop up before yours. So you want me to keep going in that order? Okay. So I will go to Alder Anafesta, Ward 10.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Tem. And I was listening. I also listened in on the tax abatement meeting recording. And let me just preface my statement by saying I support affordable housing. That is not the question. Everybody deserves a safe place to live. That is without question. But you know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of New Haven being the scapegoat all the time. We are in desperate need, that's no doubt, of affordable housing in this city. But again, you know, our surrounding towns don't support us. The developers come into this city to make money. Not out of they build not out of the goodness of their hearts. They're investors, they're developers. They want to make their money, and they are not going to build to lose money. While our focus is on, you know, pilot money, we also have to look at policy with all our tax base. Are we taking advantage of what we have in place? Why doesn't all affordable housing have an equitable and fair process? And I think that's the conversation here. It is not anything against this particular project. It's the equity and the fair process that goes into determining what is paid out. And I guess that's the part where it gets a little confusing. Our process as it exists is not an open and transparent one. There are too many variables with no consistency in how we deal with developers. This was mentioned at the tax. This is very relevant.
Alder Festa.
Yes,
Alder Festa. We need you just to stick to the point. Either you're for or you're against. Initially, you sounded like you were for affordable housing, but I guess you're against this project. We don't need a lot of the whole background. Either you're for or against. And I understand you just talked about the finances, but we need to really, you know, get on with this vote. Either you're for or against. So.
Oh, thank you, Madam Pro Temp. I appreciate that. You know, listening to everything, listening to the recording. And let me just say something, because you mentioned something that I'm against affordable housing. I am not against affordable housing. I just want to make that clear.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
It sounded, it came, anyway. I just want to make it clear. I am against this project happening under the finances that exist as presented to us.
Okay.
And that again is due to the lack of transparency, the lack of some kind of policy that is not in place, that is not equitable across the board for all affordable housing. The prices change constantly depending on, you know, what is before, I guess, Lishta.
Madam President Pro Tem.
I'm just explaining myself.
So,
Madam President Pro Tem, can I call in a question?
Okay. call the question, but we do have our president's hand is still up for a part of this discussion, and that will cut her off. So I'm going to ask Alder Festa. I believe you gave your answer, or what you're for and against, and your reasoning, but we don't have to have, the continuation. We understand. Okay?
Madam Pro Temp, I just want to say one other thing, and that is, because of there no guidelines, we as a board, it's our responsibility to make sure that there is a fair and equitable process. It is being responsible to our residents.
Okay, Madam.
It's responsible
Point
to
of
our
order, the question has been called.
and of the housing.
The question has been called, no further discussion.
The question has been called.
Point of
No
order.
further discussion.
Although our president, excuse me, I am running this meeting. I know what I'm doing. I know y'all think I don't, but I know exactly what I'm doing. So I try to respect you, Alder Festa, to allow you to give your statement, but you went off course. Our president had her hand up for another statement. Now our Alder Wingate has called the question. And so I want to be respectful to our president to allow for her, but since the question was called, Madam President, I believe we're going to have to just go on and allow this to go forward.
Just a point of clarity, Madam President Pro Temp.
Yes.
Even though the question has been called, I did not hear a second.
True.
So
Okay.
unless there's a second, that point of order dies at the table. And then the president may be able to provide her testimony.
Okay.
Second.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. So now that it has been second, I guess our president won't be able to say what she wanted to say. And so I'm going to ask our city.
Point of order, Madam President Pro Temp, that there has to be a vote taken, aye or nay.
Okay. Y'all like when I'm up here, right? Let's throw this at the president pro temp.
You're doing wonderful, Madam President Pro Temp.
This is good. Okay, so the question or the vote is to close out this session. Is that what you're saying to me, Mr. Majority Leader? And
My colleague from the 29th Ward has called the question. It has been duly seconded. And so now, Madam President Pro Temp, you will just say all in favor.
all those in, okay. So all in favor? All in favor, say aye.
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 All those against?
Nay.
No.
Okay.
So it sounds like the ayes have it. Okay, so now we'll go into the vote. Mr. Majority Leader, because I see you shaking your head, and you are a Majority Leader, so I am staring at you.
Okay.
Okay.
You're right
it's
on course,
okay.
Madam President Pro Temp. You're right on course.
Okay, all right. So are we, and Mr. Majority Leader, I'm looking at you and I'm asking you, we're going into this vote, right? Okay.
Yes, Madam President Pro Temp.
Okay, thank you. So I would ask, this is a 1-for-1, so I would ask our city town clerk to take the roll for this vote, or are we just a full vote?
We're finished.
Okay, so
Point of
now that
clarity.
we're finished,
I just want to know, are we voting on both items, item A and B?
Yes, we have to take the vote on both the items now.
We return back. Yes.
okay. So
Thank you.
thank you. Good teaching for me, right? So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those against, say nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it, both items pass. Now I will pass this back over to our president, Alder Walker, to Aisha Walker-Myers. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President Pro Temp for stepping in. Before a motion to adjourn is appropriate, I will call on points of personal privilege. I call on order for 24.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to ask everyone to join us for the next Finance Committee meetings. Next meeting will be on Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. It will be our next public hearing on the budget. In this, we'll hear from it'll be our first department workshop. We'll be hearing from the Board of Alders, the Department of Finance, Financial Other, the City Town Clerk's Office, Persons with Disabilities, the Mayor's Office, Registrar of Voters Office, Corporation Counsel, the Assessor's Office, and on Wednesday, March 31st, workshop number 2, please join us. We will hear from City Plan Department, Building Inspection, Transportation, Traffic and Parking, Public Health, Youth and Recreation Department, Economic Development, Elderly Services, Equal Opportunities, and the Community Services Administration. So please join us for those meetings, March 30th and 31st. Thank you, Madam President.
Are there any more? I will now call on order from Ward 20.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to give a shout out to Mrs. Culler. She turned 100 years old on March the 12th. We celebrated her by doing a little drive-by birthday for her. So I just want to say I'm just so awesome. It's just so awesome to just see and touch a person who's 100 years old. So we were happy to celebrate her, Mrs. Culler, on Shelton Avenue.
Great, happy birthday. Are there any more points of personal privilege before I take a point of personal privilege? I will now call on order on Ward 12.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to remind my colleagues that tomorrow we'll have the Public Safety Committee meeting. For those of you who are concerned about how the Public Safety Communications Department works or has some concerns about them, at your time to come out and listen or offer your questions or comments. Thank you, ma'am.
I will now call on from Ward 2.
Thank you, Madam President. If everybody would please, my mother will be turning 93 years old on Wednesday on St. Patrick's Day. So if you could all just shout out happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños.
All right.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Thank you very much. I will pass it
Live
on.
the life. Celebrate the life.
Happy birthday. Are there any more points of personal privilege? Okay, hold up. Let me just go to the next screen. All right, so none. I would like to take a moment of personal privilege. So first, I want to start off with thank you to everybody that reached out to me regarding my father and my uncle, you know, losing their home for 32 years. I really appreciate everyone reaching out to me. It's been a really time for my family, but they are fine. They was in that fire and they are doing okay. And then second thing I want to say, since I wasn't allowed, because of the process, to talk about my development, I just want to say thank you to everyone that actually voted for it, because what we're actually doing is, you know, we're advocating for people that are underserved right now. And, you know, everybody cannot afford to live in a really expensive home with, you know, like a number of different fireplaces and bathrooms and all of those things, right? These are people that the rain was coming down in their apartment. And yes, it does. We do have to do a tax abatement. And I'm pretty sure that the orders that's on LISTA, their due diligence, because that's what they're put there for. And when we talk about transparency, transparency doesn't mean something is not transparent if you are not in the room. Transparency means it's a process, and it's a process. So I really appreciate everyone that voted for it, and those families, thank you, because now they can raise their kids in a decent home. And you are right, and I agree with the orders when they say all of this, all of our land is untaxable. That's why Yale should pay more, because they should help subsidize some of these things that we really want to do for our community. So thank you again. And we have to advocate because they don't have a voice. So we're going to advocate for the voiceless. And that's what I do for my community. And I would say, I hope that everyone would go by there and take a look at what, the residents was living in. It's not nice. And I don't think any of us will want to live like that. So I think it's really great that we advocated and we voted yes for them. And we all do, I think all 30 of us on this board support affordable housing. So that was really, really great. Thank you. Are there any points of personal privilege? Let me go to the next page. Okay, seeing none. Oh, wait, did I see hand order, Crespo? Wait,
No, I'm
one
sorry,
sec,
Madam.
please. Did I see your name? Okay. Now,
Yes,
a motion
but
to
thank you.
adjourn is appropriate.
I make a motion we
So
adjourn.
moved.
Second.
Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Good night
Aye.
and stay safe.
Be safe, everyone. Good night. God bless.
We are adjourned. Good night.
Good night.